I prove to myself that I can be a great fighter on the clay, and I can win big titles on the clay. That's really important for me.
All things are important, especially when it gets to, getting that thing that you really expect. Well, for the ATP Challenger, it was also someone in tennis, that is in person of Andy Murray, who won his first ATP Challenger Tour result or title since 2005 as world number one beat Tommy Paul in a deciding set in the XN province on Sunday yesterday. Well, the Scot, a late wildcat into the second tier tournament after his first round defeat in the Madrid Open, came through 2-6, 6-1, 6-2 in an hour and 56 minutes in his first victory clay court final since the 2016 French Open. Well, victory is set to move him closer to the top 40 in the world, thereby increasing his hopes of being seeded for Wimbledon later this summer. Well, moving away from tennis, let's look at some things that went down over the weekend in the boxing scene, as Jake Paul is confident of a shot at redemption against Tommy Fury after losing to his rival in Saudi Arabia early this year. The pair's fiery feud came to fruition inside the ring in February as Fury's superior boxing experience and expertise proved telling in guiding him in a split decision victory over the YouTuber turned boxer. It ended Paul's 6-fight winning streak, an unbeaten record during which he had recorded emphatic knockout wins over the former UFC stars Tyron Woodley and Ben Askren. Well, Joshua Baptiste had an important point to make in the immediate aftermath of his victory over Powell Stephen in Birmingham. His opponent was good, but he defused the timing poll over 10 rounds in Results World Arena on Saturday. But Stephanie was unbeaten going into the bout and was rated number 4 in the world by IBF. Well, but he has been out of action for almost a year and had to shake off the ring rust as it looks to secure a major fight before the end of this year. Well, also in the world of boxing, Ben Whittaker made a sensational return to action when he beat Jordan the Game Grant in Birmingham on Saturday night. Well, he had been sidelined since August as he recovered from injury, but he came back like he had never been away. At the Result World Arena, he was boxing close to Dawson Home. Well, that was a very good one for him. Congratulations to everyone in the boxing scene. But in Formula One, Max Verstappen produced a stunning recovery from ninth on the grid to beat teammate Sergio Perez to victory at Red Bull's dominance continued at the Miami Grand Prix, with Max Verstappen error in qualifying saw pole sitter Perez gifted a chance to claim a victory that would have given him the World Champions lead, but the judgment produced a scintillating drive to win by 5 seconds and extend his advantage to 14 points. Excuse you. I wish Oladapo Kunubi was here so that I can actually talk about his two teams at this moment, because I am looking at the result from yesterday in the NBA playoffs and I'm like, okay, this is like a rejig for LA Lakers, but a bad one for Golden State Warriors in the NBA playoffs, as Golden State Warriors lost 97 points to 127 points. If Oladapo Kunubi was here, I would have asked which was his preferred team to actually win this game yesterday, because LA Lakers took on Golden State Warriors, and these are the two teams for Oladapo Kunubi at the NBA. Well, it was a good one for LA Lakers. I think they're waking up. Yes, they are doing great. I understand they're doing well. LA Lakers defeated Golden State Warriors 127 points to 97 points. Philadelphia 76ers in overtime defeated Boston Celtics 116 points to 115. Earlier this morning as well, we had games in the NBA, and that was Phoenix Suns defeating Denver Nuggets 129 points to 124 points. Well, today or tomorrow we have Miami Heat taking on New York Knicks by 12:30, and LA Lakers again on Golden State Warriors case. Hopefully they are able to continue this winning streak against Golden State Warriors 3 o'clock tomorrow morning in the NBA. Let's move away from NBA, let's move away from Formula One, let's move away from boxing, and let's talk football this morning. Is the NPFL, the Nigeria Premier Football League. Games went down yesterday. Yesterday right there. Eyimba United gave a bashing to Gombe United as they won 5-0. Akwa United defeated El Kanemi Warriors 2-0. Babenda Insurance, played a 1-0 draw against Shooting Stars. That's 1-1. I was actually surprised that Shooting Stars could actually, get a draw against Bendel Insurance, because I know how the poor run Shooting Stars have been having. I will not lie, I'm a Shooting Stars fan. I know the poor run they've been having, especially in the Group A of the NPFL. As the moment, Shooting Stars stands at 22 points, 6th position, while Bendel Insurance is top on the table with 33 points in 17 games. And I was like, definitely Shooting Stars might lose this game against Bendel Insurance, but they went. They saw, they conquered, they're doing well. Congratulations to the Shooting Stars boys as they did a very fantastic job against Bendel Insurance. It was a goalless draw with Doma United and Enugu Rangers yesterday, but Kwara United defeated Nasri United 1-0. Well, Sunshine Stars did a great job against Niger Tornadoes, defeating them 2-0 as Remo Stars of Oladapo Kunubi is like, today is just a day for me to keep talking about Oladapo Kunubi, Young Striker 9. All his teams performing well in their various sports. NBA, Golden State Warriors, not good, but LA Lakers, good. Remo Stars, okay. Defeating Plateau United as well, who has also been doing well in the NPFL. The standings here for Plateau United, although 5th on the table, Remo Stars 3rd on the table. But assuming they had won the game yesterday, they would have gotten 28 points and leaving Remo Stars at 27 points. But they actually jumped over Akwa United with that win yesterday, giving them 30 points. Remo Stars, well done to you. Well, moving over to other games that were played and scheduled yesterday, Rivers United also defeated Bayelsa United 2-1. Wiki Tourists gave a bashing to Abia Warriors. Abia were not Warriors yesterday as the Tourists, that was a Wiki, actually defeated 4-0. In the African Cup of Nations, Cameroon defeating Burkina Faso 2-1. And it's not good, actually, because at the weekend as well on Saturday, I was talking with the boys right here, asking them if Nigeria can actually do well at the AFCON qualification, and Nigeria did fantastically well. I'm surprised. I'm good. I'm happy for them as they defeated our under 17 South African team 3-2, and that left them second on the table with 6 points, tallying with Morocco 6 points. Second on the table, Morocco first, Zambia, 3. I'm surprised Zambia actually, won Morocco. Really, that's a good one. Like, I was expecting that they would not even win because the last two games they had, it was a loss for them. And they actually jumped and did fantastic well against Zambia. So Zambia won Morocco 2-1 in the AFCON there. And we have other games that are going to be scheduled for today in the AFCON. Actually, yes, you have to just stay tuned to get the update. A shocking defeat for Cameroon as they lost 2-1 to Burkina Faso. Well, let's see other games that went down. Actually, I was surprised in the Serie A as well. Victor Osimhen still performing his magic, doing fantastically well, and it was good as they saw a penalty save before scoring another as Napoli marked their Scudetto celebrations with a 1-0 win against Fiorentina and a carnival atmosphere. Well, having ended a 33-year wait to win Serie A on Thursday, I played that on Thursday, and it was happy for Napoli. Spalletta's men were greeted by a jubilant crowd at the Stadio Diego Armando, but too much change lineups make this for a very low-key opening. The boys said it on Saturday, saying that, well, Spalletti will not play his best hands because they don't really need that win, but they just need to maintain that winning streak, which, of course, they did as well. In the Women's Super League, rampant Chelsea, also the Men's League, Chelsea actually won over the weekend. Rampant Chelsea in the Women's Super League maintained their 100% home record by storming to an impressive 7-0 victory over luckless Everton. Everton is not doing well in the Men's Premier League, Women's Super League as well. Well, it's a very simple equation for the reigning champions. They win the remaining 4 games, they will remain or retain their Women's Super League title regardless of what happens elsewhere. Well, Chelsea have now exchanged places with Manchester City in the table, who suffered a shock 2-1 loss to Liverpool earlier on Sunday, and 4 points shy of leaders Manchester United with a 2-game advantage. Congratulations to the Chelsea women. Congratulations to the Liverpool women. Hopefully this is something they can maintain to the end of the season till it ends. In the League One, Derby missed out of the final playoff spot in League One after a 1-0 defeat to Sheffield Wednesday that allowed Petersburg to finish inside the top 6 on the last day of the season. Derby, who started the afternoon 6th, were beaten at 3rd place Sheffield Wednesday after Michael Smith's first half penalty, which followed a straight red card for Derby defender Curtis Davies, gave them the onside win. Well, let's look at the table for the League One, how it actually went down, We have Ipswich Town, 2nd, Plymouth, 1st, Sheffield Wednesday, 3rd, Barnsley, 4th, Bolton Wanderers, Petersburg United, 6th, Derby County, 7th, Portsmouth, 8th, and other teams there. But in the relegation zone, relegated, we have Milton Keynes Dons, relegated, Morecambe, relegated, Accrington Stanley, relegated, Forest Green Rovers, relegated for that one. Well, in the French Ligue 1, it was Monaco defeating Angers 2-1. AC Ajaccio a goalless draw with Toulouse, and we have Auxerre and Clermont getting a 1-1 draw. Lorient and Brest, man sent off for Lorient, but still they were able to defeat Brest 2-1. Nantes against Strasbourg, Strasbourg defeating Nantes 2-0. Lyon against Montpellier 2-5-4, and PSG defeating Troyes 3-1. In the Bundesliga yesterday, it was Borussia Dortmund giving a whooping, bashing to Wolfsburg 6-0. In the Serie A, Atalanta lost 2-0 to Juventus. Torino and Monza played a 1-1 draw. Napoli, said it earlier, defeated Fiorentina 1-0. Lens and Verona defeated 1-0 right there. Looking at some fixtures for today in some of the league games, Empoli will be up against Salernitana today by 5:30. 5:30, Sampdoria will be up against Udinese. Bologna will take on Sassuolo in the Serie A. Those are the games going down for the Serie A today. In the Premier League, I gotta talk about that one as well.
Able to bring it away. West Ham have a man down, but the advantage is played. Oh, De Gea has made a right mess of it. He's gone through him, and West Ham United take the lead.
Well, it's incredible, isn't it? It's been such a mixed season for David De Gea, leading the Golden Glove, 15 clean sheets in the Premier League, but there's been too many mistakes like that. And there's no power on the Ben Rama effort. He just pokes at it. And De Gea, all he can do is just palm it into the back of the net. I really can't understand what's happened and how he hasn't managed to keep that out.
A miscalculation on the part of David De Gea there, and that gave Manchester United a second successful 1-0 loss in the Premier League. This time, West Ham at London Stadium, leaving their top 4 hopes in jeopardy. De Gea's error allowed Saïd Benrahma to score win. I was really surprised. I saw that highlight. I saw the way it went into the post, and actually a lot of people commenting on De Gea's inability to actually defend some goals that very, very costly mistake. But Erik ten Hag said, "We ain't letting this man go. He's got the cleanest sheet ever. We are not letting this man go. We are just going to let him stay and do what he knows how to do best."
Shaw coming back, Ben Rama able to bring it away. West Ham have a man down, but the advantage is played. Oh, De Gea has made a right mess of it. Shaw coming back, Ben Rama able to bring it away. West Ham have a man down, but the advantage... The lead.
He has the most clean sheets in the Premier League, so we would not be here in this position without him. So he is fully my belief, no concerns. We want him to stay, and we want him to extend his contract. So we need 3 wins in 4 games, and so everything is in our hands, and we have to believe.
Believe whatever you say, and it don't got about anybody, not if anyone. So as for Erik ten Hag, it doesn't care. The man is the right man for the job. We want him to extend his contract no matter what anybody says. If you want to say anything, just keep quiet. We don't care what you gotta say. But it was a nice night for Arsenal as well, and it's looking like the losses that Arsenal had gotten over the last 5 games, or let's say 3 games before the one Chelsea, and now winning Newcastle United. Yes! Sorry, oh! I would say I'm shocked, actually. It's as though there is an awakening in the Arsenal squad. There is this, thirst to actually go back to the table despite Manchester City having a game in hand. I'm like, okay, whatever they have to say, let them do. But, Mikel Arteta has said that we have to just keep going. We have to keep looking. We have to, keep digging, keep going, because the first spot is our, what we need right now.
We are there, that we want to keep digging. You know that the prize is there, not too far, and the only thing we can do is keep insisting and don't turn our backs and lose the focus on something else. Is be determined every single day. Let's keep going and see what happens. It proves that we've done it today. Now we have to prove that we are able to do it against Brighton. It's going to be a completely different game, really demanding. And we're going to have to be at our best to beat them again. And we've done it for 10 months, 10 and a half months, I think. And we have to keep doing. And we are there. And now it feels very different to 10 days ago. And we have to now make sure that the momentum is there.
Well, tonight in the Premier League, Leicester City will be up against Fulham by 3 o'clock today, where Brighton and Hove Albion will take on struggling Everton. Brighton looks like a team that can, give Everton a tough time tonight. While Southampton and Nottingham Forest will be slugging it out today. But the coach of Nottingham Forest, the Nottingham Forest boss Steve Cooper, is in no doubt, saying that big win has to come tonight with Southampton in a side in a beat to drop. That they just really need that. They really need that. Victory for Forest would move them out of the relegation zone and actually condemn their visitors to the drop, while defeat will send them nearer to an instant championship run. Sondheim also has admitted that the livelihoods are at stake in Everton's final 4 matches, and he intends to restore core values to the club irrespective of their Premier League fate. Well, whatever it is, I wish every team in the Premier League, chance to win and get themselves maximum 3 points in whichever games they have to play today. Let us talk transfer stories before I leave this morning. It's like, yes, Aubameyang speaking. He wants to go back to Barca. Moni kilo nshele gogo. Guys, stay one place. Well, talking to Barca about Cancelo move is his agent Jorge Mendes, who is in discussion with Barcelona about a potential move to the club in the summer. Well, Cancelo is currently on loan to Bayern Munich from Manchester City, but the German club are unlikely to make transfer for a permanent one. Also in the transfer news, Eden Hazard is there and is revealed he will see out his contract at Real Madrid and will not be departing the club this summer. Barcelona also will reportedly give the okay to sell Ansu Fati to Wolves in a fascinating part exchange deal that could see star midfielder Ruben Neves move to Nou Camp. I also told you earlier, Aubameyang reportedly wants to go back to Barcelona. Bro, that is your choice. Well, Roma is set to sign Lyon playmaker Hüseyin Hua. His contract will be valid until June 2028, and Chelsea owner Todd Boehly has received a positive update in pursuit of Mauricio Pochettino. Liverpool are in talks to hire Jörg Schmidt at the club, sporting director, beg your pardon, and Burnley has rewarded manager Vincent Kompany with a new 5-year deal. Congratulations to that man. And at this point, I am signing out. Thanks to Arenaya on Facebook, Mohammed Salahuddin, thank you, and Mr. Fataiwo. I'll be back shortly for AM Update, the newspaper corner, with my colleague on the show this morning. Do not move a muscle. It is Solutions 939 FM. Like I said earlier, it is the best. My name is Favor Oloruntọ́lá.
Obligo Gigi Fresh Olele
Damn.
Pate Dirty no feel living. Kolo un loco sita lie. Ọmọ tèmi kọ́ rárá. Betty no feel hate my mother. Kolo un lé wọn sita lie. Mama tèmi kọ́. One day my come from the ghetto, so get. You ghetto, so ghetto. Oh ghetto, then forget. Yeah. When I give my attack, oh you defend. Reset to your defense, oh ghetto, then forget. Yeah. So you see back when they go, celebo, falsetto. Yeah. You see I learned from the best to the best. Davido, Shogato, Mobado, don't forget now.
Solutions 93.9 FM.
Katawa 13 years anniversary mega promo, 20% discount. Ilare. Gbogbo Ìbàdàn kí wa kú oríire. Ayẹyẹ ọdún mẹ́tàlá tàpé ká ti sọ ní donílẹ̀ sọ ní donílẹ̀ lórí. Ìbàdàn Katawa tún fàjọ kàyọ gbogbo wa lájọgbẹ́nu sí. Mega promo tó lè sọ ní donílẹ̀ lórí bí ìdánrẹ́. Lórí ilẹ̀ wa tó wà lólógún ẹrú Ìbàdàn. Flourish Estate èyí tàǹtà ní 1.3 million naira ti di 1,040,000 naira. Outright payment ìyẹn gbé tán. 100,000 naira lẹ́ẹ̀kọ̀kọ́ sọ fún ìjà láyà fún sọ díẹ̀díẹ̀. Ẹ sì máa ṣèyókù kú bí àjọ láàrin oṣù méjìlá. Lẹ́yìn tó kú sí 1.2 million naira. Royal Homes Estate phase 2 tó wà lálábàtà ń bàdàn òyàtọ̀ 500,000 naira náà láǹtà. Ẹ máa pe nọ́mbà yìí 070-388-04-841 tàbí 081-280-33335 tàbí kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sí wa lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà níbàdàn kìlómítà 8 Old Lagos Road Oríta Challenge beside Total Filling Station New Garage Ìbàdàn. Katawa Properties Limited, addressing the future. Ìlànà ń tẹ̀lé ń bẹ o.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account o. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account or inside your Momo account to fiam make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
Saleko is a jungle. Everyone does what they must to survive.
Gangs of Lagos don land for Prime Video and na the #1 film, so make una go watch am. E get better stars like Toby Bakri, Adesua Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and more. Plus the genge action wey dem do for the film. Chai! Na for only Prime Video you fit watch Gangs of Lagos and dem go first give you 7 days free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oh yeah, check back to Prime Video.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, Mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
ẹ̀rọ ṣe ni ẹ mọ̀ kára ríro di gbàgbé o.
má ṣàròyé egungun ara tí ń dà ọ́ láàmú ìmọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ wa oògùn ẹ̀rọ Shebritas ni ó yanjú ẹ̀ bárabá ti ń dára àgbà táwọn ohun tá a fìwé ṣe bá ń kó ní ìraba wa lágọ̀ọ́ ara tára ń bu ní so tá ò rí bí sun àsùnnára jòkó pẹ̀lú ìrọ̀rùn bó ṣe wù ẹ̀rọ Shebritas ni ó gbẹlura o káwọn ibi ìrora sápamọ́ sí lágọ̀ọ́ ara wa lè ferege ni o ní báyìí bó bá ti ra oògùn ẹ̀rọ Shebritas wa méjì ojú ẹsẹ̀ lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ oògùn atẹ́jẹ̀ṣe wa ti ń ṣàfọ̀mọ́ ìdọ̀tí inú ẹ̀jẹ̀ tí ò jẹ́ jẹ́ kí ẹ̀jẹ̀ ara wọn já gerege. ọ̀fẹ́ lẹ́gbàgbé bọ́dí abá mixture lójú ẹsẹ̀ o àjídèwé oògùn atẹ́jẹ̀sí báyìí lọ́dọ̀ àfíìsìkò tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ilé epo World Oil Ìwó Road Ìbàdàn. ẹ lè ríra lọ́dọ̀ ọlá àlùbáríkà lójú níyànà ìdójú ní omi àdìo. ó wà ní ọjà òkè àdó nílé pẹ̀tẹ́ẹ̀sì tó wà lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ ilé epo kan oil.
ẹ lè ríra ní aláàká market nílùú Ọ̀yọ́ Aláàfin lọ́dọ̀ ìyá Abdullahi Alas.
gbàgbé tọ́sí bitters túyẹ̀rẹ̀ bitters 1,000 naira péré ni o 080 25 12 46 44.
Telephone 08025124644.
ọjọ́ àlọ́ olómi ló wà ní ìkásù láti ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ mara pẹ́.
ẹ káàárọ̀ nílùú Ìbàdàn. Solutions 93.9 FM.
Alright, it's 24 minutes to 9. You're on to Solutions 93.9 FM. My name is Adidamala Lafenwa. We're set to bring you from the daily stories from some of today's national dailies. And this morning, I have the Punch newspaper as well as the Nation newspaper with me.
Alright, I am Favor Olursla. Welcome back from sports. And I have with me the Nigerian Tribune and the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay, quite interesting stories on the pages of the newspapers this morning, especially as the Presidential Election Tribunal will be starting today. So many anxieties, so many people waiting for the outcome of the petitions. Okay, let's go straight to the business of the day. Starting from the Nation newspaper, I have this one saying Dangote Refinery for inauguration May 22. Kiyamo, petitions hearing can't end before May 29. And another one, this one has to do with the Alaafin of Oyo's tool. Alaafin royal family seeks stay of action by Oyo government. And another one says Max airplane makes emergency landing in Abuja. That story is on page 4. Sudan crisis. Federal government warns against self-evacuation, and the riders to that. No more Nigerians left at Egyptian border. Fourth batch of 834 citizens back. Okay, moving further, I have this one. It says IMF urges Nigeria, others to take over Russia's oil markets in Europe. The banner headline says Senate House APC NWC to ratify zoning plan today. And right after that, APC Northwest Chairman OK Akpabio Barao Yari won't support consensus candidate. Southeast Senators-elect reject zoning to South-South. Okay, these and many more will be found on the pages of the Nation newspaper. There is another one that talks about the election petition starting today. It's a statement credited to Festus Keyamo, and he said, those seeking speedy determination of election petition mischievous. Keyamo. Okay, these are many more stories will be found on those pages of the Nation newspaper this morning.
All right, taking my first shot from the Nigerian Tribune this morning is from Senate Presidency, as it is written there. Southeast Caucus kicks against Akpabio, the man's seat. I have a sound of that, and we'll take that especially from Ifeanyi Umba. Wants Tinubu to ensure country continues to thrive on path of equity, unity, and fairness. Fuel subsidy removal, Nigeria between the devil and the deep blue sea, page 12 of the Nigerian Tribune, as Presidential Election Tribunal begins sitting today. APC apprehensive over weight of evidence that is coming from PDP on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune, and PDP's allegations nothing but reverse psychology, cheap blackmail. Responding to PDP, that is the APC. And 150 escaped death as Max airplane type burst during a landing at Abuja Airport. After 30 minutes gun duel, NDLA seizes 8,825 kg illicit drugs in Lagos. That's on page 26 of the Nigerian Tribune, and on page 27, written on the front page, 1 killed as police rescue 58 kidnapped victims in Kogi Forest. Villagers apprehensive in Zamfara bandits relocate to Katsina. What? A relocation? Villagers apprehensive as Zamfara bandits relocate to Katsina. All right. Sudan crisis, Nigeria evacuated 1,471 citizens in 5 days. Need calm. 10th Speaker, aspirant sets for showdown over Abbas. Many romance PDP for Deputy Speaker. Confusion in APC, Governor's Camp. NWC may rally consensus due today. Ex-APC North Central Caucus. Stakeholders warn against marginalization of zone. North Central favors for SGF.
Okay, I'm moving to the Punch newspaper this morning, and I have this one on subsidy removal. Subsidy removal, Nigerians may spend 8 trillion naira on petrol in 6 months. That story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper this morning. Protest as Northwest backs Akpabio for Senate presidency. That story is on page 7. My ordeal with aggressive breast cancer, Desiane. Remember the woman, Desiane, the former petroleum minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If you want to read more, you'll get a copy of the Punch newspaper, and the story is on page 12. Now, going to the banner headline on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning, asset declaration. CCB tells Tinubu others to submit forms before May 29. And riders to that, there are 2 riders to that, let me read them. Asset declaration ongoing in 36 states. No swearing in without form submission, CCB. And the second rider said, Bureau says defaulters risk removal from office. 40 Ogun politicians obtain forms. And there is this not so good picture of a crash along the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway yesterday, which led to heavy traffic along that route. There is this one that says, look, the picture is showing the tanker, fuel-laden tanker crashes, grounds Lagos-Ibadan Expressway traffic. You find the picture on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning. FD airlift 888 Nigerians from Egypt, plans more evacuation. And this is from Sport Angle. Osime from Lagos Street, Oka to Syria, our goal king. Osime is in the news these days. I think it's his time is really shining.
But the fact that he's in the news, he's still getting racist comments.
Well, that one is expected.
I saw a picture where, there was a player being crowned as a Scudetto king, but Osime's face wasn't, put there. So Nigeria has actually decided to create their own, put Osimhen on that scene, and make sure that he is, because if not for Osimhen, where would Napoli be?
Well, I think our boys are playing in the various countries, especially where they still have this racism thing. I think they are already getting used to it, and they will just let it slide. And the last story on the front page of the Punch newspaper this morning: passengers stranded, flight grounded as FG shot Abuja runway. These and many more stories will be found on the pages of the Punch newspaper this morning.
Okay, like what I was saying on Osimhen, Victor Osimhen, on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, it's like Osimhen written boldly. Racism is sought note over Napoli king. That's the sports corner of the Vanguard newspaper. If you want to get that, it's on page 31 of the Vanguard newspaper. But concerning the MAX airplane crash in Lagos State, there is this picture displayed on the Vanguard newspaper where, you know, there we see the tire of the plane crash. It's just displayed there. But the passenger says that we owe God our lives. They all recount ordeal on page 4 of the Vanguard newspaper. On the 10th National Assembly Senate President will exploit confusion in APC to produce speaker. I'll repeat that. Will exploit confusion in APC to produce speaker, opposition parties, and seat Senate presidency to Southeast. Senate caucus talks Tinubu. APC, LP, 35-member caucus weighs options to vote and block. And we have others here. Baja, Faleke disagree over alleged misinformation as Goji intensifies battle on those agenda for reps. Ekwe Madu, Gregory University proprietor 6 King Charles intervention. That's on page 11 of the Vanguard newspaper. And federal government confirms May 22 for planned inauguration of 650,000 BPD Dangote refinery. On the agri sector, growth defies 1.8 trillion naira loan infusions. Stakeholders cite insecurity, flooding, shop practices. All of the stories you can get from the Vanguard newspaper, as we have a picture as well of Icon Merit Award.
Okay, I will be reaching out to our analyst this morning, that is Mr. Ayodeji Ajishope, and together we'll be talking about and analyzing some of the stories read to you this morning from the newspapers. We'll be right back in a jiffy. Please stay tuned. It's Solutions 93.9 FM from the dailies.
Getting interesting, especially on the Senate presidency seat. Who has the right to take it? Which zone has the right to take it? Well, Senator Ifeanyi addressed, the issue, and also tasked the Senate President-elect Bola Tinubu to actually pay attention to the Southeast, because it seems as though the Southeast has been neglected, especially in Nigeria, for a very long time.
With the sidelining of the Southeast from producing the presidential candidates of the major political parties before the general election, the only means through which the zone can be compensated and given a sense of belonging is for the zone to produce the next Senate president, as this will restore confidence to the people from the Southeast geopolitical zone. The APC must rise above primordial and political interest and shun the winner-take-all syndrome and pursue ethno-religious inclusivity and a strong, virile, united, progressive, prosperous, equitable, and just democratic nation. Mr. President-elect, how would an average Igbo man feel after seeing evidence of total discrimination? The Southeast have been denied the chance to produce the president of Nigeria since 1966. The South-South has produced president for 6 years and also had deputy Senate president in the outgoing administration. The only zone in the South that has not been favored is the Southeast. The outcry of marginalization of the Southeast and the entire Igbo should be addressed by the incoming administration rather than aggravating it.
The quick question is marginalization or not, discrimination or not, can the Senate president come from the Southeast zone? But on the tribunal, this case from Ifeanyi, it's very, very, very interesting because a few days ago, Senator-elect Dr. Governor David Umahi from the Southeast actually stepped down for Senator Godwin Akpabio, who is from South. So we addressed this also this morning. And now to the tribunal that begins today for the petition of the 2023 election. A lot of people do not know actually or know what is actually going to happen, especially in this petition and how it's going to go. There is a lawyer who is here who spoke on the televised interview yesterday concerning how it might pan out, especially in the tribunal.
Let's put it this way. We have a situation where members of the electorate are very anxious about what the outcome of the election petitions will be like. A lot of people do not know what the dynamics of election petitions are like. They don't know what the rules are. But I can tell you that we are in for a period which is definite. The Constitution says you have a maximum of 180 days within which the petition must be heard and judgment delivered. And 180 days begins to run from the date the petition is filed. So how many days do we have once we begin to discuss how many days the respondents have had to file their responses? Then we have the pre-hearing session, which will commence tomorrow. And the pre-hearing period will go on for a period of about 14 days. A decision will be taken regarding maybe electoral interlocutory issues, how witnesses will be lined up and taken, if there are documents which they want to look at and determine whether there are issues concerning them. They want to then have timelines because each party will be given the same amount of time within which to prepare their cases or to present their cases.
Well, a senior advocate of Nigeria there, speaking, Kayode Adeluola there. Remember that we had, some political parties who actually filed the petition. Action Alliance, AA, was the first party to file that petition, but they actually withdrew. We also have other political parties involved in this as well. We have Ayodeji Ajishokwe with us this morning. Good morning, sir. Happy New Week. Happy Monday.
Yes, a good morning to you, the Favor and Mola. It's a Monday morning. I would say thank God it's Monday.
Okay, thank God it's Monday. Okay, let's go straight to the business of the day. Now, it's no longer news that the petition will begin to the hearing of the tribunal will begin today. And in some quarters, some Nigerians have been expecting speedy determination of the election petition. And it's in the papers this morning that I want to say what Festus Keyamo said. He said those seeking speedy determination of election petition are mischievous. Okay, now what's your take, guys, or what are your expectations as the tribunal begins its sitting today?
Well, you see, all these processes are guided by provisions of the law. And I want us to look holistically at this issue. We are coming from somewhere. I want to recall that a governor spent 3.5 years in office before the petition was decided. Precisely, Olagunsoye Oyinlola has spent 3.5 years in office before the petition, before the tribunal decided that he was to be removed. That's a location we are coming from. That is why we have some of these staggered elections now. Now, we have a situation now you should start counting 180 days, which is the provision of the law. 180 days between now and the day the finality of that petition. Then it is just 3 months from today, and that will take us into June, July, August. And when you look at that compared to 2010, when Alagosoye was removed from office by the tribunal, I haven't spent 3.5 years of a tenure he was not entitled to in the first place. You will admit that we have come some distance. And believe you me, we are evolving. If you look at the Electoral Act 2022, what it did to the processes. So we should not, if it takes just 2-3 months, well, yes, not bad. These are not pre-election matters. We had the Rivers election, Celestine Omehame was removed from office just after about 6 months. But that was a pre-election matter. That was why it was that quick. But the issues that have to, yes, these are the processes. If it won't take more than 3 months after inauguration, when you tally that with the case of Olagunsoye Oilala, who spent 3.5 years in office, November, he was to leave office before May and he was removed in November. 3.5 years out of a tenure he was not entitled to. You will have to acknowledge that we have come some distance. And I'm sure maybe in another 4-8 years, we will be totally out of this situation in which there will be inauguration and then there will be anxiety that the sitting president will influence things as it was.
Okay, can you hear me? A lot of people have been saying that the May 29 inauguration should not hold because the case is in court, tribunal begins today, and the likes like that, stating that, it should be after the tribunal. Should we agree with this? Because if that happens, definitely the interim government we've all been talking about is, bound to happen.
You see, what people, let me ask this question. When the Electoral Act was being put in place, all these people that are raising doubt and questions, where were they? There must have been public hearing. I mean, remember the Electoral Act went to the president. There was so much contention about it in the two chambers, the issue of electronic voting and all these issues that arose, election of delegates and all those issues that arose. Come on, why didn't these people come out and make their observations? Not dead. I mean, all of these things and put pressure. People put pressure on the National Assembly because before the election voting became what it is today. And why? I won't judge the social with to say it is mischief, but people had ample opportunity. And if people have any sense of history at all, they must know we are evolving. In this regard, this particular regard, I think we have evolved positively to a large extent. And the little gap left, I am sure it can be covered.
Okay, I'm still so particular about the Election Petition Tribunal. Now, how effective is this tribunal to upturn the election results as declared by INEC? Because you mentioned the one regarding Olagunsoye Oilola, that his election was upturned after 3 years and some months. Now, we've had cases of election tribunal like this upturning the result or the result declared by INEC, and still the person concerned will go to another court, like an appeal court. So do we now say the petition tribunal, election tribunal, or the tribunal itself is no longer effective?
It is just a matter of provisions of the law. If the law says the petition start and end at the tribunal, so shall it be. But if the provisions of the law says you can appeal to an appellate court and then even through the Supreme Court, so shall it be. Because recently
we had a case from a particular case from Osun State regarding Governor Ademola Adeleke there. The election tribunal actually upturned his election. But he went ahead and went to the appeal court where he won. So that's how I'm coming from. That how effective is the elect? Because we are talking about 180 days. You know, a lot of money spent on this, a lot of time being wasted, and everything. At the end of the day, the election tribunal makes a pronouncement, and still it's not as effective as it should be or as expected to be.
Effective, you know. You apply relativity when it comes to that. But you see, it depends on what the players are. Like the lawyers say, I'm not. No. They say the court is not a part of Christmas. It's not going to give you what you did not ask for. So look, lawyers that appear before these tribunals, they are experts in that field, so much matter than the others. Look at the case of Machina and Lawan. To the ordinary man on the street, that's a dubious one. But you know, I've had senior advocates defend that position.
I wouldn't like to call it a dubious one. I'd like to call it an abracadabra one.
Exactly. I mean, that's why I call it a dubious one, to put it mildly. But I've had senior advocates defend it vociferously, say it's about legality. The mere processes of filing, you understand? Mere processes of filing, according to them, you know, nullified the case before them. But we are not talking about judgment. We are talking about justice. Do you and I think justice has been done? I doubt it.
Okay.
So these are the issues that you and I, who are not learned men in code, you know, so it's that all.
Okay, I did, Joshua. Well, let's go back to the concerns of the people. You know, I mentioned earlier that a lot of people saying that the May 29 inauguration should not hold. Peradventure, one of the things they are saying is that once the president-elect is sworn in as president come May 29, he has a huge influence on the tribunal, thereby, you know, just making sure it doesn't stand, making sure that it becomes useless in the process. Because we've seen sometimes that maybe the tribunal might not be fair and just.
Favor.
Yes.
I think, you see, that's not a nice commentary for the Supreme Court by Nigerians. At the moment the president is sworn into office, he has influence and amounting to control of the Supreme Court. That is not a nice commentary by Nigerians at the highest level about Nigeria's Supreme Court. That's a high level of denigration of our Supreme Court. That they are men, they are not men. All of them. That's a blanket denigration of the Supreme Court of our land. That is not particularly nice. We had a president that was elected in this country, and he went to the bar conference in Ilorin late Yaradua. That election that put him in office was a fraud. I mean, will you say such a man, he recognized that fact? So, but I keep telling people something. The court, whichever court, be it the tribunal, the appeal court or the Supreme Court, the bottom line is substantial compliance. That's what the law says. I am not a lawyer, but it says substantial compliance. And I'm told what constitutes substantial compliance in the face of the law is to be determined by the judges deciding. It's not nice. It's not nice commentary on the Supreme Court of our land by people. I've had, high-level Nigerians say stuff like that. That is not nice.
It is not. It is not. Okay, let's move away from the issue of the tribunal. There has been so much anxieties as regards the imminent removal of oil subsidy by the incoming administration. And some of the anxieties are, okay, will the people, the kind of hardship it will bring on Nigerians. Now, in your personal, in your own view, will the removal of subsidy be so beneficial to the masses?
Nigerian Tribune states it as a Nigerian between the devil and the deep blue sea.
An option between the devil and the deep blue sea. That's the removal of the oil subsidy. What's your take on that?
I think that captures it. We are between the devil and the deep blue sea.
Oh
my God!
Interesting. Please,
please elucidate.
Yeah.
You don't remove it. What happens to you?
You remove it.
What happens to you?
Okay, let's analyze which one is better. We now have the option of choosing between the devil and the deep blue sea. Which do we go for?
On a personal note. On a personal note.
Yeah.
Look, there is nothing that happens that is not going to be very painful. It's a process, and it's going to be a quite painful one. We choose the way we want to go. Our leaders will choose for us the way we need to go. Are we ready to pay the price?
But talking about paying the price, I know you made the same statement when this cash policy was introduced in December, which moved into January, and you were like, Nigerians will adjust to that. Though it's painful, but there are still so many things that the hardship cost some people that the scars are still left behind. There are many people that lost their lives because of this, the cash less policy that was introduced. And I know you said it on the program then that Nigerians will adjust. It's just for a time. We'll get used. We need to endure the pain and everything. Must we go through this kind of excruciating pains? I mean, looking at the removal of subsidy, at the moment now, petrol is being sold at I bought it 210 last night, but some filling stations 220, 230. Now imagine the oil subsidy being removed, and there are speculations that we might be buying this petrol at the rate of 800, 400, 500 per litre. I mean, it's going to have ripple effect on other businesses.
There's always a flip side to all of this. It's a con that we're dealing with.
Okay.
But we have to make our choice. And whatever choice we make will come with consequences.
That's what I'm asking.
Now,
okay.
We have 7 to 8 trillion naira that could be saved from this, or probably more. But if we choose to retain subsidy, so be it. Let's continue along that line. But are the guarantees? What are the guarantees?
Okay.
What are the guarantees that they will be properly
utilized? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the issue of provision. What are the provisions to bridge?
We have the palliatives. The palliatives that was, released a few weeks ago to cushion the effect to each individual.
That issue of palliative. 10 million, 50 million Nigerians, 5,000 naira for 6 months.
What does it cover?
What does it cover in terms of, transport infrastructure, roads, rail, city rails, intercity rails, and buses and all of that. The buses and all of that. Those are the challenges. And that the trust deficit when it comes to people, Nigerians, and those who govern there. That's a trust deficit.
Okay. Still talking about the hardship and things like that before we move away from the issue of hardship. Ngige is in the news again this morning, Dr. Chris Ngige, and he's been known for making some heavy statement. He made another statement, and he said he was talking about the economic hardship. He said, I want to quote him, he said, Nigerians won't die, they will adjust to survive. What's your take on that?
We will adjust to survive. That's his own opinion. Well, he's entitled to it. Absolutely. They're entitled to his opinion. Nigerians won't die. But there are some who will have scars for life. Scars. There are some scars that, probably that's just the Nigerians won't die.
But shouldn't the government be making efforts to at least to cushion the effect of the hardship, or to at least lessen the burden caused by the hardship, instead of making the pronouncement that you won't die, you will? It's just like saying maybe you are punishing your child.
Take it as it is. I've given the order. Just take it as it is.
You're punishing your child, and you say, you could now.
It's just like
that gives you an insight to the people we put in office, the way they think, the way they relate to us. That gives you an insight. If those of you relate to say you won't die. I mean, that's not language that should come from leadership to the late. No, you won't die. That's a strange word. But that's what we have. But don't be surprised. Ngige is known for utterances in that such utterances.
Okay.
So Nigerians should brace up, and I do not know, and I'm not so sure that there's a political will. But what I've heard from the president-elect, he's a finance man. He may most likely do it. What he will be trading, we are even angels.
Okay.
We are even angels.
All right, still talking about the hardship, a statement was credited to Right Reverend Dr. Babatunde Ogunbanwo, who is the Bishop, Diocese of Ijebu Southwest Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, yesterday. He said Nigeria became almost dead under Buhari. What's your take on that before we move into other issues?
Well, that's a general statement, and if there are no specifics, Nigeria became almost dead. I think that may not. I am not a fan of President Buhari. I've never been a fan of him when he was military head of state. But I don't think that may be too fair to say, because that's a blanket statement, blanket condemnation without specifics, and I don't think that's the way to rate a government. Of course, the president has gone out of his way to rate himself. He said he has never changed.
Yes,
of course,
that was
his own opinion.
He said that last week.
That may not be the opinion of Nigeria, but he's entitled to it too. Just like Ogunbanwo, he's entitled to his own opinion too. You can't you may not just write the government up outrightly like that. That's not a fair assessment. But that is not saying this government too has done very well, especially based on the change that they promised. Especially based on the change.
Okay, maybe I should read his comment, the full gist there. He said that the national life of the country under the outgoing regime had gone from being a failed state to a nation that is sleeping, dormant, lethargic, and almost dead. The Anglican bishop also noted that the nation is on the brink of collapse under the regime of Major General Muhammadu Buhari. Okay, those are some of the things he spoke about, and he charged the incoming administration to keep up to the electoral promises to Nigerians, because the outgoing one has failed Nigerians woefully and is leaving Nigerians under the challenges of untold hardship. So I decided to read out the entire text credited to Bishop.
Even at the entire text, he didn't narrow it down to specifics. He didn't talk about the economy. He didn't give us statistics. He didn't talk about what did he talk about? No specific. It's just a general statement.
Okay.
And I don't think that is ever a fair way of putting things.
Okay.
The man is a failure. The man is a failure. He failed. I mean, You have
On what
to. We have to
grounds?
do more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, we have to do more than that.
All right, let's move away
Yep.
from Ugubanwo. He has charged the incoming president, but a group of people in the National Assembly are also charging, the president-elect, especially for the Senate president seat. First question: I want you to put yourself in the shoes of a southeastern man, because according to Ufayimba, he asked that question to the president-elect, and I want to direct the question to you. If you were an Igbo man, and since 1966, you've not had the chance to produce the president of Nigeria based on discrimination, how would you feel?
You see, I think this issue runs way beyond that. I think I am of the opinion that the fact that the Southeasterner has not been elected president of Nigeria actually means the civil war has not ended. That is one side to it. But the other side to it is that this is politics. It's a game of interest. Look, the emergence of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the candidate of the party in itself, it did not happen overnight. Everybody and anybody that knows a little about politics should know that it has been a process. It is probably a deal that had been even still way back in 2014. You understand? And the man only, politically enforced it, So, what politics are these Southeasterners playing? Are they playing on the national stage? Are they playing geopolitically? Are they reaching out? Who is this Southeast man that has a national stature politically that is reaching out? It goes beyond making demand. It goes beyond making demand.
Okay.
It goes beyond making demand. There is work to be done. Look at it. You are saying Nigeria must be, balkanized, and yet you want to leave that in Nigeria. That's a lot of contradictions. And it looks like the leaders of the Southeast are helpless, following their people to order. I think, either as it may, it is a game of interest, and when it's a game of interest, those who have the biggest knife get the biggest cut.
Okay. There is a tweet here on Twitter that's coming from Buchi Odi. He says, actually, the South deserves to be given the Senate president's position without much deliberations if we are one Nigeria as expressed. We'll address that later. But there is more drama going on in the National Assembly, especially for the Senate seat. Oshiomhole is also vying for that position. Remember that a few days ago, this same Southeast, the person that was supposed to, represent, that's Governor David Umahi, stepped down for Godwin Akpabio. And then the Southeast caucus are kicking against Akpabio, demanding the seat. And they want Tinubu to ensure that the country continues to thrive on the path of equity, unity, and fairness. And there is also someone, that's the president of Abbas, who is also, on the news as well. Let's address all of these issues together. Who is actually fifth? The Southeast? Is it nice to zone? Or is this like, it's not going to thrive on the path of this equity, unity, and fairness if the Southeast is not made, put in the position of the South Senate president?
You see, equity, fairness, all of that is good. But this is politics, the game of interest, power game. These are the issues at stake. Are they playing the right politics? Are they playing it right? It goes beyond. This is our demand. We must be compensated. We are agreed. It's not been zoned to us. You understand? What kind of politics has the candidate, Ojikalu, what has he played? What kind of politics is Fabio playing? Because they say that he's going to the South. What endorsement is he getting? You see some Northwest governors and APC governors endorsing Fabio. You understand? I mean, Ojikalu is the chief whip of the Senate. You understand? I mean, he should have a better opportunity than a party that just joined it.
Yeah, that's my point. Okay.
I mean, he should have, to be the chief whip is no job. But what are you using the position to do? What bridges are you building? Are you building bridges? Are you building bridges? The right bridges. You understand? Politically. Those are the issues. Incidentally, Ojikalu school in the Northeast, you know, so that should have given him some leverage across those places. But I mean, what is he doing? What have you done with those opportunities? These are some people have vociferous in their opinion that they cannot be making demands on Nigeria. That this is not giving candy to a child. This is not an issue of using candy to a child to pacify him or her.
Okay.
And the political interest to fight for it. You saw how that presidential ticket in the APC as unity was fought out fiercely. You know. So and these things when I think so.
All right.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Ayodele Ajisope, for joining us this morning. And
my pleasure.
We really appreciate
you.
Really appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right, we have Victory Riches here. Victory Richard, everything combined together, standing like a soldier, wanting to chase us out of the studio.
Yeah,
this morning for Solutions Clinic.
Morning to you.
Smile now. Which one is this soldier look they give person?
You just said soldier. Do you see soldier?
Okay, so what do we expect on the Solutions Clinic this morning?
Also, this morning we're talking about immunization. I think it was 9 days ago, the World Immunization Week was celebrated, and it's basically to raise awareness of some diseases that we can prevent with the use of vaccination. So that's the crux of our conversation this morning.
All right, my name is Favor Oloruntola. Wait for Victory Riches on Solutions Clinic. Say bye-bye till tomorrow.
Okay, my name is Adi Damala Laughing White. It's over to you, Vic Riches, for Solutions Clinic.
Guys, my name is Dr. Fumi Adeyemi. I'm a family dentist, and I would like to tell you that your mouth is the gateway to your body. So if you keep your mouth, you keep your whole body for what is ahead of you. So if you keep your mouth, you keep your life. If you get your mouth checked by your dentist, keeping your mouth, you keep your life for the future. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. I am Dr. Tomio Petu, a public health physician.
This is my reminder to you to stay safe, keep your homes clean and pest-free. Also remember to wash your hands regularly, and if you feel ill or any of your family members, please remember to see a healthcare provider first. Keep listening to Solutions Clinic.
Alright, it's a beautiful Monday morning right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9, exactly 25 minutes gone past 9, and it's time for us to talk about health. Welcome to Solutions Clinic, where we get to talk about everything and anything health. My name is Victory Richard. Hope you had a great weekend, and I hope you've continually made your health a priority. Like I would always say, a healthy life is your ticket to a wealthy life. Alright, like I stated earlier, we're going to be talking about immunization this morning. Globally, we have vaccines to prevent more than 20 life-threatening diseases. According to the WHO, immunization prevents 3.5 to 5 million deaths every year from diseases like diphtheria, influenza, measles, to mention a few. Vaccine reduces the risks of getting a disease by working with your body natural defenses to build protection. When you get vaccines, your immune system responds. However, vaccination coverage has eroded in recent years and dropped since 2020. The COVID-19 pandemic and associated disruption over the past 2 years has strained the health system. About 25 million children missed on vaccination in 2021. That's 6 million more as recorded in 2019, and it's the highest number since 2009. The World Immunization Week is commemorated every last week of April, with the theme for this year, the Big Catch-Up on Immunization, which is to highlight the collective action needed to protect people from vaccine-preventable diseases. Joining me this morning is Dr. Chukwuma Okoli. Good morning to you, Doc, and it's great to have you again.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Morning. How are you feeling this week?
Very well, thank you.
Fantastic. So let's begin the conversation with first establishing, what vaccine is and immunization is, because I think more often than not, they are used interchangeably.
Yeah, very true. Now, immunization is actually a process of building the immune system of an individual.
Okay.
That's immunization, and it could be done actively or passively. Actively by injecting some molecules, some biological substances into the system. When these biological substances are injected, it will spark up the development of an immunity against what you are trying to prevent. That is immunization. Now, the process of injecting these molecular substances is called vaccination. Because what is injected are called vaccines.
Vaccines.
So vaccination is a process of injecting those biological molecules into the body system to make the immune system develop resistance for the near future occurrence. For instance, tuberculosis. So the moment you undergo a vaccination against tuberculosis.
Is there a vaccine for that?
Well, it's still on development.
Okay.
We're just talking about.
I wanted to be clear on that.
So, when you are injected, then the body mounts an immunity against the future development.
Okay.
All right. So that's what it looks like.
So basically, vaccination is important, immunization is important
Very
for
well said.
the progress of our health. I mentioned earlier that the coverage for immunization, especially in this part of the world, our climb, is gradually eroding. How would you say that has had an effect on the health system?
See, there are lots of things wrong with the health system of Nigeria as it is. A lot of things are wrong. And we are undergoing a political process that we hope can heal the health system, not just the health system, every other system of the country. If we get it right at the highest level, then we will have a leader who will work towards developing every other sector. And this is not a 4 or 8 year thing. This is the problem that we still haven't gotten right in this country. You get in there and you are targeting, this is what you want to do in 4 years. Hello? Start up a process that will outlive you. Start up a policy that after your reign and tenure, it will be continued by the next, because they are sustainable projects. All right, now COVID vaccine has its success because many countries of the world believed that people should be vaccinated. Though we have a minor population who said no, they will not be vaccinated for whatever reasons, personal reasons, which are respected at all levels and grounds. So now when you are starting a process, you have to make sure, irrespective of your political affiliation, when the next person comes in, he looks at the project and says, I can relate with this. For instance, potable water, like we call it. I mean, if you start a process that distributes potable water to a community, the next person coming in looks at the scenario and says, yes, this community needs water, so this process must continue. If there will be an adjustment, it might just be how to further deliver the water, probably the workmanship, as it were, but not that the project be cancelled. If you are changing it, if it was a potable water by means of a well, you could decide to go for potable water by means of a borehole.
Yeah.
But the point is that the water is delivered.
Available, yeah.
It's available. Not that you get there and you say, let everybody dig their well and have their own water, and you cancel the project. These are the problems. This is one of the numerous problems we have, and I think it cuts across all aspects.
For immunization and vaccination, we know that the formative age of a man's life determines a lot, especially with his health, when it concerns immunization and vaccination. For children particularly, what are the structures for immunization?
Okay, thank you very much. Now we have an immunization schedule which runs up to 1.5 years, 18 months for every child. Okay, and then you start with what is called BCG, Bacillus calmette guerin vaccine. Okay, that's the first vaccine that a child receives at birth. Okay, and then we have an immunization schedule. We have the card they receive. I think it's a green color card I see around here that they receive, and then the next appointment is written on it, and everything is spelled out for them, and they keep coming as at when due to receive. It cuts across every child. If these things are followed, you can be sure that the child will be adequately immunized. But while talking about immunization, let's not forget that the feeding is important. There is a language, an adage Yoruba says that it says like the inner strength is what you use to carry the external force. If you are eating well, if you are well fed, then you can face whatever comes your way. If you are not well fed, you don't even have the strength to mount antibodies. Now, when talking about, I don't want to delve deep into so much science, but while a child is immunized or vaccinated, the molecules will spark up production of antibodies against the immunogens, the germs and all that. But if you are not feeding well, your body does not even have enough protein in stock to even produce the antibodies.
Oh, yeah?
We've seen people who went for measles vaccine and they turned up with measles. What happened? Not that the vaccine was faulty, like people would start screaming over the social media. No, it's the immune system of the recipient that failed to mount up. Because measles, for example, is a live attenuated vaccine. Live. Attenuated means the power is reduced.
Yes.
And so it gets into a system that has poor immunity. So the live attenuated vaccine comes, of course, is alive anyway, attenuated. So it's meant to get in there and then meet some group of guys that would destroy it in a matter of weeks. All of a sudden, nobody to destroy. And then it grows virulent, and then boom, the person comes down with measles. So that is it. So it's a long process, and it's a robust discussion in the medical world.
Yeah.
But the fact and the background is that vaccination is compulsory for every child.
For the BCG, does it cover a number of diseases?
No, that's just that's okay. Yeah, that's even for the tuberculosis actually. For instance, yeah, I just remembered now. So that's just number one. We have the pentavalent. We have that includes hepatitis. We have hepatitis B vaccination, and so on and so forth. It's a lot. Measles, yellow fever, and all that. So there is it spans over 18 months. That's the first 1.5 years of life. So after then, you will now give them a card that says you have been fully vaccinated. Then you can schedule them for other top-up vaccines. Okay, tetanus, toxoids are there, and so on and so forth. Diphtheria, pertussis, measles, blah blah blah. So it entails a list of communicable diseases, but like I said, communicable. So if you are vaccinated and you come across someone who has tendency to spread the virus, you will not be infected because you are vaccinated and your immunity is developed. The moment that virus or bacteria or whatever it is comes into your system, the immune system destroys it.
Aside food, are there other factors that can reduce one's immunity?
Oh yes, there are medications that could cancer chemotherapy, people on prolonged steroids for whatever reasons, you know, that people with reactive airway disorders and all that. So there are some medications that can downplay the immune system. So apart from eating good food, if you are on medications, and that's why we say cross-board, if you are receiving medications for any particular ailment, that's not the best time to be vaccinated. Wait until you are much stable and strong before you can now be vaccinated. So apart from food, medications are there, and some other lifestyles. All right, I mean, people who are chronic smokers, chain smokers, chronic alcoholics, all these things, they downplay the immune system. And when this happens, such a person may not respond properly to the vaccination if that person is vaccinated.
So I've heard people talk about hepatitis, for instance. Yes. You know, they go about their careless living, and they say things to you like, I've been vaccinated. I've had conversations around that. Okay. So I probably do not have I may not come down with hepatitis, as it were. So is that vaccine strong to keep someone, even with the careless life that some people might indulge in?
Okay, allow me to say there are strains of the virus. Hepatnaviridae is a very large family of viruses with various strains. So the fact that you are vaccinated, you are not immune to developing it. As a matter of fact, I've seen someone who claimed to be vaccinated and then suddenly came sick, started coughing, and then the diagnosis started rolling in. Tuberculosis, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and largely the big one, HIV, in one person.
Oh my goodness.
So at the end of the day, he was just saying, I thought I was vaccinated. I'm like, you were vaccinated, but of course you were also informed that that is not an ultimate ticket to a reckless life.
Well, we're having a conversation this morning on catching up with immunization, especially in this part of the world. And I'm talking with Dr. Chukwuma Okoli. Be sure to send in questions if you do have any regarding vaccination or immunization to 0904 422 2939. 0904 422 2939. We're also streaming live on Facebook as well as YouTube. So jump on the platform and lend in your thought. For children, Dr. Chukwuma, who probably missed out on the window period for immunization, can they still receive such vaccines?
Well, I'll leave that to the pediatricians to tackle.
Hmm.
But then any child who has missed out on vaccine should just present in the hospital. Well, it depends on the age, right?
Hmm.
Yes, it depends on the age of those children.
You said the age was within 18 months of life. First 18
It should be
months.
first 18 months of
Okay.
life.
Mm.
So if any child has missed out of the vaccine, should present, and then the pediatricians will review them and then do what is needful. At the end of the day, they are examined. A lot of them may not have any symptoms, just that when you look at the situation surrounding these people, most of them fell ill at the time of the planned immunization and missed the vaccine timing.
Yeah.
If they are still within the age, it is possible for them to.
So is there like an age? Because I hear things like coming after a particular age would mean would make the vaccine less effective. Yeah, because I mean, let's say at that point of your life, you're still. I think the immunity is really strong. I think the first 18 months of a child, the child is void of any kind of germs or whatever that would. Yeah, so maybe that's why it's usually within that time frame. So speaking of age, is there like an age bracket that when you come as a child, say maybe 9 years, it might be difficult for you to take that vaccine and the vaccine being effective for your body?
There is no time a vaccine given will not be effective.
Okay, fair enough.
There's no time. The moment your system hasn't received the vaccine. Well, how about us that received COVID vaccine at over 40
Maybe
years?
COVID is different.
No, it's still a vaccine.
That's
It's
true.
still a
That's,
vaccine.
that's true.
As a matter of fact, even COVID has its age restrictions.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm just hearing that.
Yeah, COVID vaccine has its age restrictions. So,
Mm.
yeah. So,
No, but they were saying COVID. Anyway, they were all myth. Let you continue. Anyways, you
there are
continue.
lots of myths around COVID vaccines and all that. But all the same, the moment you step into an authoritative health center, yes, you'd see the physicians and then they recommend what is ideal for you at that point.
All right, speaking of new interventions as it concerns vaccine, we already have the R21 malaria vaccine, which was recently approved by Ghana as Nigeria as well. But the World Health Organization is yet to approve it. And it makes me wonder if we have the resources, if the World Body for Health is yet to approve the vaccine. Do we have the capacity to okay a vaccine, as it were?
We don't have the capacity now because of the background problems I mentioned, allocation and all that. I think the biggest problem we have to battle with is having a structure that runs the polity. We don't have a structure that can run this country. Because if you have the proper structure, while I was coming here, I was actually involved in a discussion about, I think it was even mentioned in the program just before this. I joined them as well, talking about the president from the Southwest, the deputy, president-elect, the deputy from Northeast, if I'm right, and now
The
the
National
East,
Assembly,
the East, Southeast is clamoring for a Senate president. And then someone said he learned that the president-elect plans to get the deputy speaker for the Southeast. And I was like, what the?
Yeah.
Right. Like, you know, we still are political and sentimental beings. What is right should be documented. All these things, you don't need to start lobbying. It should be documented. It's permutation. The president is from this side, then the vice is from this side, then automatically this seat goes to this person. I mean, those things should be well laid out. This is a country of over 200 million people, having lots and lots of great men in it. I watched the coronation and I saw Nigerians who are, of course, British, of course, now, but Nigerians who were involved in the coronation. A woman, a professor. I saw a man, even the chaplain of the Archbishop of Canterbury is a Nigerian. Many of them Nigerians, occupying very sensitive positions in the British Empire. One of them is even an OBE. Lots of them, knights. One is even a knight. So we have a lot of beautiful minds in this country. But the question still arises, like, who do we leave our politics to? Okay, and then you hear that Dave Umahi, he stepped down for what's his name, Akpabio and all that. And I'm like, just same names. I mean, are we not tired? Where are the brains? Where are the geniuses? Let's fix this country. But the point is that our sentiments eats us up so deeply and so roughly that we don't even think of the way forward. If we are able to settle the country at the top, then the proper allocation for every department is in place. Once the proper allocation is in place, then things like vaccine is not even an issue unless there is a pandemic or an epidemic. All right? There are basic things that still go on in all parts of the world. In fact, I tell you that Finland is a country you may not hear in the news for a month. And many other countries. It doesn't mean,
concerns health?
I mean, in any way, in any news. They don't make news. But get there and you'll see that it's a country functioning. Sweden is there. They don't make news. The few times Sweden made news was because they got people into studying some courses. So countries like Nigeria, we are always in the news for what? So I think at this juncture, let the proper things be done. Because immunization is an integral part of child health. And we all are parents. We all have children. We all were vaccinated. We all have our wards vaccinated. So these discussions should be ongoing at the health level. This is not even a matter of creating an awareness. Everybody is informed and everybody is involved. When you want to tackle the health, then you can't leave the academic aspect of education behind. And of course, there should be funding properly for it, so the finance department is involved. And adequate security is provided, so the security department is involved. So it's a one shop that fixes everything. And if it is properly fixed, then we can say we are heading somewhere. But as at now, I just see a group of jokers playing cards up and down.
Oh, well, Dr. Chukwuma laying up everything he has in his heart this morning. All right, let's go play some commercials. I'll be back with the furtherance of this conversation. Of course, this is Solutions Clinic, right here on the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9. To stay with us.
This Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge, just use Momo. You wan pay for market where you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account o. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account or inside your Momo account to make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
Saleko is a jungle. Everyone does what they must to survive.
Gangs of Lagos don land for Prime Video and na the #1 film, so make una go watch am. E get better stars like Toby Bakri, Adesuwa Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and more. Plus the gege action wey dem do for the film. Chai! Na for only Prime Video you fit watch Gangs of Lagos, and dem go first give you 7 days free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oh yeah, check out to Prime Video.
Your comfort is important. If you're looking for quality, classy, comfortable, and imported furniture, Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise is a place for you. At Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise, we've got a wide range of top-notch imported furniture for you at affordable prices. Name it: sofas, royal marble dining set, executive furnitures of all kinds, banquet furniture, bed and dressing mirror, kitchen cabinet, and lots more. Our intention is to make you feel comfortable always by providing quality furniture, whether at home, office, hotel, lounge and bar, and so on. Hurry now. Contact us today at Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise, shop number AA 80 to 20, Railway Shopping Complex, Aleshiloye Market, and shop 8A to 11, Railway Shopping Line, by Alalubosa Junction, Iyaganku Railway Crossing, Ibadan. Call 0802 303 0550 or 0706 225 2649. Johnson A. Nigeria Enterprise, home of quality furniture made for you.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with small candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite. Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Hello, sir. Do you mind if I interview you quickly?
No. I don't get
Just
time.
a quick one, sir. If you get 1 million naira right now, what would you?
You said? First of all, hey, I go share this my phone. After that, I will come buy red bars, you understand? Then I'll come work well. Come block my landlord main office, see my status. God declare for the boys there. Levels all land without
Take off on a millionaire level and do as you like with the FCMB Millionaire Promo Season 9 by increasing your savings account balance by 10,000 naira and keeping it for 30 days in your FCMB account. And if you're a new customer, deposit 10,000 naira into your account and keep it for 30 days. And you could be one of the winners of $1 million naira and other amazing cash rewards. Approved by NLRC and FCCPC. FCMB, my bank and I.
Alright, welcome back. This is the Remedy Dial Solutions 93.9 and you're listening to Solutions Clinic. This morning we are catching up on immunization and I've been having quite an interesting conversation with Dr. Chukwuma Okoli. We're speaking on immunization, of course, vaccination, the structures that we have in Nigeria and how important these vaccines are to prevent some of the disease that we're dealing with, because with these vaccines it might just be history that we don't have to talk about these things because somehow you've been able to build immunity for yourself. And he's still in the studio with me this morning and it's almost time for us to wrap up the conversation. But before I let you go this morning, Dr. Kumar, let's talk about the difference between vaccination and antimicrobial resistance, which is gradually becoming a problem in this part of the world. Everybody now takes antibacterial for literally anything.
Wow, vaccination and antimicrobial resistance. Okay, they are not the same. Vaccination is the process of injecting biological molecules to help the immune system develop against a particular disease condition. For instance, you take vaccine for diphtheria. You have been vaccinated against diphtheria. While antibiotics resistance, right, is a condition or a situation whereby a particular pathogen or a particular bacteria is resistant to an antibiotics that is being used. And this happens in the background of the last statement you made. We all walk into the dispensary store, request for a drug, and start swallowing the white chalk or whatever you call it, the tablets. And then you feel like you're not better. You go for another one, and another one, and another one. Before you know it, you realize these drugs are not working any longer. That is it. So you may have developed a resistance to that particular medication. So that's the difference between vaccination and antibiotics resistance.
Fair enough. Finally, on COVID-19, do we still have record of people coming down with COVID-19? Based off your work experience, could you tell that are there still people coming down with it? And what are the protocols right now as it concerns vaccination for people who are still open to taking it?
Thank you very much. Yes, people are still coming down with COVID vaccines. COVID-19 infection.
Yeah.
It's something like we were told it will still be with us for the next 2 years, even after the pandemic declaration has ended, as it were. But we still see people come down with these symptoms. Though now the world is faced with, okay, let me say Africa, Nigeria is faced with some other things like monkeypox and so on and so forth. There was a time it was this virus that comes from rat, forgotten the name. Lassa fever, thank you. You know, so you keep getting one or the other to face, but the COVID is still very much available and the vaccination is still on. Because I understand last time I checked that before you travel, you have to tender your stuff that you have been fully vaccinated. Yes. And you've received your booster doses. I have received mine as well, because I was asked the last time I traveled as well. I had to prepare to present my stuff, so those yellow and green and orange and blue cards and all that stuff before I was even allowed to do anything or go anywhere near. So the vaccine processes are still very much on. All you need to do is to get to the nearest health center near to you and request. You will be redirected to where to go and where to have it. So it's still very much available.
Thank you very much for your great thoughts and contribution to the conversation this morning, Dr. Chukwuma Okoli. We sincerely do appreciate, all the words of wisdom you've shared with us this morning. Just a final words on vaccination and immunization as we conclude.
All right, thank you very much. Dear listeners, vaccination is important for your loved ones, your younger ones. Please get them vaccinated. If today you put to bed, yesterday, today, and the past 1 week, and probably you felt the baby's ill, the baby cannot take vaccines. Okay, fine. Just make sure you let a physician or a pediatrician review. And when the pediatrician reviews, he or she will tell you the ideal time to start vaccination. So please feel free to vaccinate your children. You are doing them a favor and you are making their future secure. It is very important that you vaccinate them, not just them, yourselves. And remember, I always enjoy Victory Richard because he brings in very robust discussions. He talked about the fact that you are vaccinated and you have the license to leave, and I gave him a scenario of the one that developed almost every of those scary diseases that we all run away from. All right, so the fact that you are vaccinated is not a yardstick, or is not a ticket for you to live a reckless life. Please, you still have to be very, very careful and practice precaution, and safe practices globally is accepted. So after being vaccinated, continue to do your safe practices. Go around, wash your hands regularly, apply sanitizers where applicable, and do what is right to stay healthy. Remember that you have a ticket to a wealthy life, and you know what it is.
Yes, Dr. Chukwuma has buried my words. It's a Rapid Solutions Clinic this morning. I'll be back next week Monday, of course, to bring you quite another enlightening conversation on the subject of health. To have yourself a wonderful week. My name is Victory Richard.
In my eyes, baby, you too fine. Never seen nobody like you. Baby, can I show you? Somewhere will you go? Oh, my little child, let go. You know now. you care? Yeah. Do you know Nigeria?